So before I get into the bulk of the video, I did hijack Bad Dog's private jet. So I wanted to get away from everything to be able to talk about this. So what did I want to talk about today? Obviously, Andrew Luck. Everybody had the reaction last night, but I just kind of want to analyze it a little bit. So why did he retire? Because, everybody just wanted to make the announcement and give their quick thoughts on it. And then a couple people have brought up something like, should the Giants trade away Eli Manning to the Colts? I don't know if they did that for clickbait. That makes no sense. But I'll get into all that next.
OTR.
So obviously we're going to talk about Andrew Luck. But throughout history, it's not surprised to see a guy retire in their prime. We saw Barry Sanders. You fall out of love in the game. Now, this case is not the same as Barry. Andrew Luck is tired from coming back from injury. He's put a total beating on his body. And he made a decision for himself, which I think a lot of people should do. Especially when you're struggling to come back from injury. He's been injured every year since 2015. I mean, I guess last year is technically no, but the fact of the matter is, this is a smart decision by Andrew Luck. Because stop looking at it within a microscope. Because everybody looked at it in a microscope. Oh, I can't believe he retired. It's not that big a shock to me. It really isn't. To you guys, it is. And it's bombshell news. But to me, it's not that. It's not that. Because if you go back and look at it, this man is a very smart individual. He thinks about what life is going to be at 40, 50, 60. And considering the fact, look at a lot of these guys when they get into their 50s, 60s, and 70s. They're hobbling around. It's a rough sport. And to have this many injuries and you're not even 30 yet, it is a smart decision by Andrew Luck to go and spend the rest of his life. If he invested everything properly, obviously he's a very smart individual, so he's going to be able to get one of these cush jobs at CBS or Fox or ESPN, whatever. And I'm eager to see him give some insight into the game. But at the end of the day, this was a smart decision by Andrew Luck for his future. Going through this many injuries and this short amount of time, and a lot of this I blame on the Colts. Well, why would you blame this on the Colts? Because the previous GM did a shitty job of keeping this kid safe within the pocket and knowing that he was so athletic, basically allowed him to carry the team. That's how good Andrew Luck was. And being, 53-33, I believe, total record as a starter in the NFL is very respectable. I mean, I wish I could see more of this kid, but it is what it is. I'm not really that surprised. Now, moving on, I want to touch on two other subjects that kind of relate to Andrew Luck. First off, there are some Giants fans that thought it'd be a good idea to trade Eli Manning to the Indianapolis Colts. What were you thinking? And what were you smoking? Yeah, because I want some of that. Because Eli Manning is not as good as Jacoby Brissett. I don't know what you guys see or think you see. Eli Manning is not as good as Jacoby Brissett. That would be a stupid trade by the Indianapolis Colts. Jacoby Brissett is younger and has a better arm than Eli Manning. And yes, he's gone 4-12. He went 4-12 on a bad Colts team. Jacoby Brissett is not the same quarterback as Andrew Luck. But if you put pieces around Jacoby Brissett, a la when he was with the Patriots and Tom Brady was serving his suspension, he can be a respectable quarterback in the NFL, and he can win you games. And right now, Jacoby Brissett is better than Eli Manning. Why would you even... That's just stupid to say, in my opinion. Moving on. And this is a lesson right now to all people who draft or fantasy drafts, because I am a fantasy football player, and I thought I'd touch on this because a lot of people ignore this point. If you are a fantasy football player and you've done your draft, either the first week of preseason, second week of preseason, or third week of preseason, or fourth week of preseason, well, not till the end of the fourth week of the preseason, slap yourself right now, because there is no reason to draft until the preseason is over. If your league is worth half its salt, you never ever draft until the preseason is over. Let me repeat that again. You never ever draft until the preseason is over. That is a quick thing because things like this happen. Now, not as high profile usually. I think Barry Sanders was the most highest profile player I've ever seen call it quits out of nowhere. But this has been weighing on Andrew Luck's mind for quite a while. And I think the calf injury is a lot worse than people realize. I honestly think if he decided to play this season, Jacoby Brissett was starting the first couple games until Andrew Luck got healthy. The fact of the matter is, he made a decision for later in his life, and I think more football players should do this. If you are a football player and you are struggling through injury, and you've gone through injury after injury after injury, but you've made your millions, it's time to hang it up. Some athletes aren't smart enough to do that, and you will only suffer later in life for it. So I respect Andrew Luck's decision. It is kind of a shocker, but at the end of the day, things like this have happened in the past. Either way, it's been one giant rebuttal. Please like and subscribe, and go Big Blue.